Hey, what's up, everyone? Here in this channel, you'll find everything you need to know about investing, real estate, stocks and crypto, and how to get started investing from A to Z. In this video today, I will be showing you the 401k investing or 401k contributions or how much to save for retirement. If you're into that sort of content, please subscribe and hit the like button and the bell notification so you don't miss a video. So today, we're going to talk about 401ks. Let's try to understand about 401k a little bit better so we can maximize the full potential benefit. Maybe this is some type of observation, but it appears like a lot of people are confused about 401ks because you get a job and they sit you down and hand you some pockets to explain some 401k information to you. But you're not paying enough attention because it's your first job. And then all of a sudden, you have a 401k account set up. You have no idea what's going on, and a lot of people get wrapped into it. The best way to understand a 401k is to imagine it as a house or a shell into which you can put things inside of that. So just like with a house, you put furniture in it, and that furniture is going to be stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and index funds. So different types of investments go into your 401k, which in itself is nothing. And then you fill it with different types of investments, different amounts of money going to that 401k, and it's a retirement account. It's one of those things that the federal government gives us to help us prepare for retirement. They don't want to be paying for us when we're 85 years old on the side of the road because we don't have enough money. They don't want to see us in that position, so they want us to be successful. So they give us that opportunity to have those retirement accounts. A 401k is a type of retirement account that most people have if they work for a company or a larger organization. If you work for a small company that doesn't offer it, or if you're self-employed, there are things you can do to mirror a 401k and get a pretty similar advantages. So I think this video may help most people regardless of whether or not they're offered that 401k. Now let's understand a little bit better of the basic concept of a 401k. You're essentially going to be pushing off taxes until later so you can invest money now and not be taxed on it until you take it out after age 59 and a half or older. And so this is actually going to benefit people in the short run pretty significantly. You can write this off on your taxes and save money on your taxes in the short run by doing this with 401k. So the more you put into your 401k, the more you can essentially write off on your taxes and pay less taxes. But grow your assets in the short run a lot larger, a lot faster, and you can be putting that money in there and it's going to have time to grow for maybe 20, 30, 40 years or more being untaxed. And then once you retire, you can assign it how much you want to withdraw, and then depending on how much your withdrawal, it's gonna decide your tax rate when you are older once you're retired. So again, the main objective of the 401k is to help you prepare for retirement, and so naturally, the government is going to slap you with a 10% fee if you try to withdraw money from this account earlier than age 59 and a half. So do not forget that. As well as you can be paying traditional taxes on top of that 10% fee, which can really kind of deterring from taking money out of that. So you're gonna be able to access this very easily, though there are exceptions or there are emergency purposes where you won't be hit with that 10% fee. So this is something you can also consider thinking about. But generally speaking, it's hard to get money out of a 401k without being here with those fees. When people move from one job to another, especially younger people, they may choose to cash out their 401k, and when they do, they are charged a 10% fee. There are options for rolling it over into a different company or continuing to pay the payments with your own company, with your former company. There are a number of options when changing companies. Many people change jobs often nowadays than they used to, which is something you should remember. But you don't want to be here with that 10% fee and taxes on top of that every time you move company. There are ways to roll those over into different jobs, into different accounts. Now, in many cases, almost every case, your company will offer you some type of matching opportunity. So if you put in, say, 3% of your total income for the year, your company might say, we're going to put in another 3%. So they might match it one for one, where they say, we're going to match a one for one up to 10% of your income. So if you put in 10% of your income, they put in another 10% of your income. That's certainly one of the best situations you might find yourself in. In other circumstances, they'll say that for every $2 you put in, they'll put in $1. Or for every $3, they'll put in $1. Or for every $4, they'll put in $1. And the more of a match they offer you, the bigger the opportunity and the more you should be taking advantage of it. So, with all of this knowledge and how much money you should actually be contributing to your 401k, most financial advisors will agree that you should max out your 401k to the point where your company no longer matches it. Most financial professionals advise that you go to that level at least if your company says that they'll match it up to 10% of your income, 15% of your income, maybe 6% of your income, whatever they're offering to match it up to, because that's free money that you'd be leaving on the table. Even if you have some debt, some credit card debt or other mortgages, some other payments, so you might have a car loan or student loan, you still want to max out that 401k to the point where they're not going to be offering those matches anymore. Now, there will probably be a gap for most people between the point where your company stops matching your contributions and the point where the government actually allows you to put a certain amount of money. I believe it's about $19,000, maybe $18,000. I can't remember the exact figure because I think they just increased it, but between that amount and $18,000 or $19,000, you can actually keep putting that money in, and your company will continue to match your contributions. But you can still write that off in your taxes, not pay taxes on it now, pay taxes later, and it can still help boost your total assets in the short run and not be taxed on that money until 30 or 40 or 50 years down the road, whenever you actually take that money out of that 401k. Now, there is one thing I want to warn you about with 401ks, which is that most people who are thrown into a 401k from a company where they work are often thrown into a target date retirement fund, which may have a target date year of 2040 or 2060, depending on when you plan to retire. It's usually about 40 years after you start or around age 60 or 65 when they're going to set that target date retirement fund for. And in a lot of cases, people get thrown into this. They don't understand that there's something called an expense ratio that you want to be aware of. You want to keep this pretty low, in which you may prefer to invest into things like Vanguard S&P 500 fund, which is 0.04%. A lot of times people can be thrown into these ones that are 1% or more for the expense ratio. Now, a 1% fee on your portfolio on your 401k per year, that's 1% of your 401k. So if your 401k grows 2% next year, they're gonna take 1%, which means 1% is 50% of your 2%. And that's how seriously negative it can have of an effect on your portfolio if you're paying these high expense ratios. So if you're looking at your 401k and wondering what investments to make, they're generally going to start you with the target date retirement fund. If you're trying to save money over a long period of time, I'd consider switching to something with a lower expense ratio because 1% per year multiplied by 40 years means a lot of money. That could be hundreds of thousands of dollars. Literally hundreds of thousands of dollars that you're leaving on the table by putting it into some of those funds with high expense ratios, especially over 1%. In a lot of cases, some people will be paying a financial advisor another 1% or more to have someone advise them who then throws them into certain mutual funds that charge another 1%. And you're paying a large percentage of your portfolio every year just to have it managed, but something that you can do yourself. Hopefully, this video answers some of your questions about 401ks. So, there are plenty more tips and tricks that we will cover in our channel, but we hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.